Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Bricks Blazing Takes. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
SimWorld, what's up? This is Rick Blaze. This is another episode of Blazing Takes, giving you the ins and outs, what's happening in SimWorld. I got some things on my chest I want to talk about. Call. Thank you, good sir. All right, so first off, I want to talk about scoring. And I'm not talking about, well, let me not go there. Let's just talk about scoring. The SWBA points have been coming galore. Last night, Pelicans scored 153 points. The Indiana Pacers averaging 130 some whopping points. There's players that you've never heard of before putting up 20 points a game. And I understand what I'm about to say and the rant I'm about to go on. It's going to make me sound like an old man. I get it. I understand it. But I just got to say it.
BLAZIN hot. Take number one.
Are these players that much more prolific in scoring these days? Or is the defense that much worse? Or is the game allowing this to happen because people want all the points? I think it's a little bit of the first and the last one. I don't think defense has gotten worse. I just don't think it's... You're going to do more of what you're rewarded for, right? So right now, the NBA is rewarding players who can put the ball in the basket. So that's what these young guys are working on. And what I'm saying now is going to have a trickle-down effect to the SimWorld prep level as well. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And so these NBA players, these young boys coming up are going to be seeing what the NBA is doing because that's where they want to be ultimately. So they're going to mimic what they see in the SWBA. And what they see is a lot of points. And so, obviously, that's where we are. I like the points. I'm not mad at that. I just don't like how there is no real separation between who's who from a statistical standpoint, right? Cam Thomas is a great scorer, but Cam Thomas is not Damian Lillard. But on any given night, Cam Thomas can look like Damian Lillard. Now, on one perspective, that's a beautiful thing. It allows players to get to grow, get their name out there. I understand that. But do you remember when scores were scores and they were allowed to score and defenders who were defenders were allowed to really defend? That's the part that's kind of going away. I missed the time when the physical defenders, I'm not talking about wing players and guard players specifically, were allowed to guard those guards. Because, hey, scoring on me, I take it personal. I don't think the way that the game is marketed these days, that getting scored on is taken personally enough. So I say all of that to bring that back to the SimWorld prep level. Hey man, I'm looking at my guards, I'm looking at my wings, who plays defense, who says, hey, scoring on me, I take that personal. I'm looking at my bigs who say, hey, scoring on me, I take that personal. So I want to give a shout out to all my guards who's out there playing defense in SimWorld prep. I want to give a shout out to all the wings who's out there taking it personal on defense. I want to give a shout out to all the bigs who's out there taking it personal on defense. Specializing that, I know it's a lost art. I know we don't see a lot of it. You don't get a lot of hoopla, but they don't talk about him like they used to talk about Gary Payton. They don't talk about him like they used to talk about, I'm going real back, Stacey Augmon. They don't talk about it like they used to talk about, Tayshaun Prince. They don't talk about those guys on the defensive side, but I'm going to make an effort to give some love and flowers to those players.
Number 2.
All right. Before I get out of here, my hometown team, H-Town Hoopers, played against Heartland on last night. It was a really good game, back and forth game. Heartland kind of pulls away at the end for the victory. Hey, man, this Heartland team is gutty. They're gritty, and they got a win on the road. You got to give credit to Coach Lovelace and his squad. They're quietly putting together a good season. Bernard James is quietly putting together a good season. Player of the Year conversation, I don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm saying I don't know. Let's continue to let it play out. If I had to rank Player of the Year's candidates right now, Bernard would probably be somewhere on the bottom end of that list. But he's on the list. If I had a top 10 list, he's on the list for sure. We'll see. There's a lot more season left. Cooper Flag is going bananas, of course. But I think I'm gonna look at Player of the Year. I think it's gonna come down to the end of the season for this. I think there's gonna be times and moments. Kevon Jackson has had his moments to shine. My man Towns has had his moments to shine. I think every player is gonna have their spurt and moments in time where they're really, really looking good. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be a really close call for Player of the Year, I believe, this season. Closer than what we've seen in the past, regardless of how y'all felt last season. It was Bronny. Talk about Trey Hyman's had moments in the sun where he looked dominant. So it's gonna be fun. I'm anxious to see how that turns out. I just want to give one last shout out to my defenders, the guys who take it personal on the defensive side. Coaches who coach up defense, give you guys a shout out too. And I just think there needs to be love given for those guys who work hard. See y'all next time.